You are watching Health and Healing Channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this lecture, we learn about female reproductive system. In female reproductive system, we learn about uterus, ovary, fallopian tubes, cervix, internal os, external os, vagina, labrum minus. Let's start. Female reproductive system. Produce sex hormones, estrogen, progesterone, produce egg ova, support and protect developing embryo, give birth to new baby. Major organs: cervix, vagina, ovaries, gonads, uterine tubes, fallopian tubes. Uterus, the cervix, the lower portion or neck of the uterus. The cervix is lined with mucus, known as cervical mucus. Cervical mucus provides lubrication and sperm transport during sexual intercourse. Black square during ovulation. Secretion of cervical mucus increases in response to estrogen, but when an egg is ready for fertilization, the mucus then becomes thin and slippery, offering a friendly environment to sperm. The cervix. At the end of pregnancy, the cervix acts as the passage through which the baby exits the uterus into the vagina. The cervical canal expands to roughly 50 times its normal width for the passage of the baby during birth. The vagina, a muscular, ridged sheath connecting the external genitals to the uterus, functions as a two-way street, accepting the penis and sperm during intercourse, serving as the avenue of birth through which the new baby enters the world. In this diagram you see oviduct, ovary, uterus, ligament, cervix, vagina, bladder, bone, female external genitalia, clitoris, mons pubis, labia minora, labia majora, anus, prepuce, urethral orifice, vagina, external genitalia, vulva, which runs from the pubic area downward to the rectum. Labia majora, or greater lips, are the part around the vagina containing two glands, Bartholin's glands, which helps lubrication during intercourse. Labia minora, or lesser lips, are the thin hairless ridges at the entrance of the vagina, which joins behind and in front. In front, they split to enclose the clitoris. The clitoris is a small P-shaped structure. It plays an important part in sexual excitement in females. Female external genitalia in diagram show clitoris, mons pubis, labia minora, labia majora, anus, prepuce, urethral orifice, vagina, external genitalia. The urethral orifice, or external urinary opening, is below the clitoris on the upper wall of the vagina and is the passage for urine. Opening of the vagina is separate from the urinary opening and located below it. The hymen is a thin crescentic fold of tissue which partially covers the opening of the vagina. Medically, it is no longer considered to be a 100% proof of female virginity. Ovaries, also known as female gonads. Uterine tube. They produce eggs, also called ova. Every female is born with a lifetime supply of eggs. They also produce hormones, estrogen and progesterone. The diagram is frontal section of female reproductive system, which show fimbriac, ovary, opening of uterine tube, uterus, cervix, vagina. Frontal section of female reproductive system. 1. Release of egg from ovary. 2. Egg reaches midpoint of fallopian tube, where it is fertilized by sperm. 3. Implantation of fertilized egg into the endometrium of uterus. Fallopian tubes, uterine tubes, stretch from the uterus to the ovaries and measure about 8 to 13 centimeters in length. The ends of the fallopian tubes lying next to the ovaries feather into ends called fimbria. Millions of tiny hair-like cilia line the fimbria and interior of the fallopian tubes. The cilia beat in waves hundreds of times a second, catching the egg at ovulation and moving it through the tube to the uterine cavity. Fertilization typically occurs in the fallopian tube. Uterus, pear-shaped muscular organ in the female reproductive tract. The fundus is the upper portion of the uterus where pregnancy occurs. The cervix is the lower portion of the uterus that connects with the vagina and serves as a sphincter to keep the uterus closed during pregnancy until it is time to deliver a baby. The uterus expands considerably during the reproductive process. The organ grows to from 10 to 20 times its normal size during pregnancy. Endometrium. The endometrium is the innermost layer as a lining for the uterus. During the menstrual cycle, the endometrium grows to a thick, blood vessel-rich, glandular tissue layer. This represents an optimal environment for the implantation of a blastocyst upon its arrival in the uterus. The pictures show normal endometrium. Endometrium. The endometrium is central echogenic, detectable using ultrasound scanners, and has an average thickness of 6.7 mm. During pregnancy, the blood vessels in the endometrium further increase in size and number, forming the placenta. Placenta supplies oxygen and nutrition to the embryo and fetus. First picture shows normal placental attachment, placenta, uterus, cervix. Second picture show placenta previa, complete. Placenta,